Now, the other thing too is in another one of your modules, you mentioned this whole idea of it's called NEAT, N-E-A-T, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis.
Right, right.
And I thought this was a very important concept. If you want just tell the viewers what it is and why it's important.
Right. Yeah, so non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT, is basically all the other activity that we do that's not exercise. So that is when you're walking to your car, or you're standing instead of sitting, you're doing your grocery shopping. So it's all those extra steps, moving your hands. In Spanish, I'm always using my hands.
Hmm.
So it's all those extra activities that we do throughout the day that really sum up to calorie burn. Okay. There are people that spend the whole day sitting and then they go to the gym for 30 minutes. That's not as effective as that person that's, purposely, intentionally moving more. They park their car further. They take the staircase instead of the elevator. They stand a few times instead of sitting while they're in their computer. So these people are more active throughout the day and they're burning calories throughout the day versus the other person that is just sitting, eating, and storing, and then just burning a few calories at the end of the day. It's amazing the amount of calories you could, there's thousands of calories that can be lost just by actually purposely moving throughout the day. So as I usually tell, patients, don't, purposely try to move throughout the day. Don't just always think, how can I move more today? Maybe having a step counter and aiming for those 10,000 steps or a little bit more. And so then it's like that data actually helps people realize how many hours they're actually spending sitting, and just, maybe having like 500 steps in the day. And this, I realize it more in patients that are retired, and I think you could agree on this. It's that you have someone that has been working their whole life, then they retire, and it's like all of a sudden everything starts to pile on: the weight, the diabetes, and everything else. And because they're no longer active, they're no longer
Hmm.
moving. It's even though they may have had a desk job, but they took a few steps for them to get into their car, get dressed, get to the office, versus now they're only home and eating. So yeah, NEAT is a great way to burn calories throughout the day, to maintain a healthy cardiac function, to maintain a healthy weight as well.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and this is a great concept because I always tell people is you don't need to spend an hour
Right,
exercising every day.
right.
Okay, you just have to find some way to increase that activity. Especially we know that in the studies they've shown just by sitting for 15 minutes,
Right,
your insulin resistance starts
right,
going up.
right.
So if your job at work is mostly sitting, like
Hmm.
most of our jobs are nowadays,
Right,
unfortunately, is set an alert or something, so that you get up and move around every 20 minutes or so.
right, right.
Okay, as a way to sort of stimulate that, that increase in metabolism and start moving and burning more calories.
Yeah.
And then this is part of the reason why I almost never sit at work.
Hmm.
Because we have those little carts with the
Right,
for the
right. Yeah.
laptops. Yeah, yeah, and that just allows me to stand and expend more energy throughout
Right.
the day.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think I think it's great that there's actually a term for this.
Right, right.
Because I think if you have a something that's abbreviated, especially when it's this neat,
Neat. Yeah.
is that I think it's easier to sort of ingrain that into somebody's, to in somebody's mind when you're talking to them about this.
Right.